Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A jury could soon decide the fate of a suspected ICE dealer. The Joseph White trial began today in Superior Court. Also tonight, all previous political appointees are officially asked to step down, even at autonomous agencies. And a budgetary control system designed to prevent overspending apparently doesn't work when it's turned off. In sports, who is able to conquer a 3-day run race? You're about to find out. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, January 23rd, 2023. The jury trial begins this week for an alleged meth dealer. Opening arguments were delivered this afternoon in the jury trial of 31-year-old Joseph White. White is being charged with illegal possession of a controlled substance and drug trafficking. According to defense attorney Tyler Scott, the case against his client is highly unusual, as the only evidence is a testimony from the government's sole witness. Scott says there is no video, no photographs, messages, or co-logs, only words from, quote, an unreliable snitch, unquote. Chief Prosecutor Chester Hines, who represents the government, told jurors that the only people who buys drugs are drug users. And in this case, authorities used a confidential source to buy drugs from White in 2 separate occasions. Hines further clarifies that though the confidential source has a history of using drugs, the source does not have a criminal record. Hines also adds that the source is putting their life in danger every time they participate in a sting operation, but they still want to help. The court then heard from 2 witnesses who testified that the operations were clean and done by the book. Scott claims that certain members of the CNMI Drug Enforcement Task Force are not fully trained to conduct surveillance. The trial of White will continue tomorrow. No full list of cabinet members yet. In the meantime, Governor Palacios asked all board and commission members from previous administration to resign. Governor Arnold Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David Apatang have yet to name members of their cabinet. Many of the acting secretaries and special assistants for government departments are only temporary. Going into their second week of office, Palacios says putting together a cabinet is the second priority.
I wish I could tell you that everything is ready to go and the Senate is ready to do hearings, but uh, with this situation that we're in, I think that kind of took the second priority at this point in time, because I want to make sure that this government continues to function and provide the public service that it's expected to provide.
The governor called for a press briefing on Wednesday to discuss the Commonwealth's fiscal state, which he describes as dire. Palacios says cabinet selection is in process and appointments should be announced this week. The governor is also working without a chief of staff.
Top reasons I don't have the money right now. Second reason is that, again, this is more important than having a chief of staff.
The governor then sent out a memorandum to all boards and commissions appointed by the previous administration to tender their resignations. Palacios says the new administration is, quote, dedicated to making fresh and meaningful changes that will help to rebuild trust and confidence and guide our CNMI into a brighter future, unquote. The request, according to Palacios, is out of respect to each board and commission member and their work. As the newly formed fiscal response team validates the preliminary figures, officials get down to how budgetary controls were turned off. The CNMI's financial management system was converted to Tyler Muni's system back in October of 2021. Munis was expected to hopefully speed up business processes and allow fiscal transparency in the CNMI government. But the transition report from the Department of Finance says otherwise. According to the report, the Munis system did not reach the level of expectation for system functionality and training across the board. The Munis system is also equipped with budget controls to prevent overspending for each department and agency. It was later revealed that the controls were turned off by the former finance secretary. Tracy Narita, who is the acting Secretary of Finance, explains turning off the budgetary controls had a purpose, but it was pushed too far.
I'd just like to highlight that the Department of Finance is still ongoing the implementation of this new system. And so one of the things that we uncovered was the budgetary controls were supposed to be turned off for essential expenditures, because when you transition from an old system to a new system, government operations don't stop. And so in order for us to continue providing essential services, we can't have the system stop us from putting fuel into ambulances or paying our police officers and things like that. So the budgetary controls that were turned off had a purpose. However, everything was turned off. And so that was the highlight of the issue in the transition report.
The off button allowed overrides to budget limitations, which caused uncontrolled and unauthorized expenditures across all departments and agencies. Acting Special Assistant for Management and Budget, Virginia Villagomez states she brought up those issues before her termination.
I was around, which was the beginning of ARPA. There were times where our office would be informed of allotments with respect to ARPA allocations pursuant to the plan. And whenever there are any deviations, I would immediately call the Department of Finance, the Office of the Secretary, to remind them that there are terms and conditions of ARPA that we must follow.
When asked what the response from the former Finance Secretary David Atalik was,
there was no response at all.
Narita further adds that as Director of Revenue and Taxation at the time, they too were not aware of the happenings.
Only certain people, I would say, were aware of the true nature of our fiscal condition. Each director has their own divisions and their own operations. as their sole responsibility. So this transition report and the findings are really coming out of the Secretary's office. And so that's where we're starting. And that's how we're going to move forward, is to really start with the Secretary's office and all the decisions and authorizations that were made at that level.
Since the conversion, 4 critical areas have been affected, which includes delayed bank file imports to facilitate reconciliations, carryover of previous purchase order balance, cash management, and accurate financial statements. The newly formed fiscal response team is currently validating all the numbers from the preliminary reports. Coming up, it's Year of the Rabbit. Let's check out this New Year's celebration after the break.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
It's okay to take a friend or parent's medication. It came from a doctor, right?
Using someone's prescription is really risky. Taking any drugs for which you have not been medically screened is not only dangerous, but taking an opioid that was not prescribed for you is also illegal. Never borrow and never share prescribed medication. Your life and your loved one's life could depend on it. Talk to your doctor about prescribed opioids. Never mix with alcohol, and remember, never borrow, never share. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Reduced hours at one of the top dive sites in the NMI. The Department of Lands and Natural Resources advises the public of new operational hours for the Grotto site in Marpi. Effective today, January 23rd, the new business hours at Grotto will be between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. According to Acting DONR Secretary Manny Pangilinan, the new hours are due to budgetary constraints and management review of operations. For any questions or concerns, you may call 670-483-6261. It's Year of the Rabbit. Lunar New Year was celebrated over the weekend with fireworks on Saturday evening, traditional lion dances, and the little red envelopes. KSPN brings you this Sights and Sounds.
back people from China on the island, which we have been missing for too long now. Yes, and make sure that with welcoming people from China and all around the world, we continue the reactivation of hydrogen sea Saipan, which started back in 2022. We had a very slow start, but again, as I said earlier, we have very high hopes for 2023.
Good health, because health is everything to us. Every year since I was little, my parents, when they moved over and when they got together with the Chinese Association, they were able to, at least provide this great celebration for bringing the lion dancers over.
A Chinese way of bringing good luck to everybody, to every member of this Saipan Computer Ideal Sign and the Quality Water family. 2023 hopefully would be good. It definitely will be challenging, but we will always face the challenge head on. We will grab the bull by the horn and see how we can make it a better year for us.
I wish all our Saipan friends and all the people, all the community have a wonderful business and good health and happiness.
Happy Lunar New Year to all. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
The Run Saipan Club hosts its first ever 3-day race, which includes a brutal course up Saipan's only mountain. And though the races were separate, runners who participated in all 3 races were awarded for their combined time. The inaugural Run Saipan's Trinity 2023 is a successful event, and it will be a part of their annual races, where runners will run in 3 separate races in 3 consecutive days. The first day was a 10-kilometer flat course in Marpi, followed by a brutal 5-kilometer uphill to Mount Topachao on the second day. The third and final day was held in the beach pathway in San Jose for another 5-kilometer flat course. On Monday, after their final race, Run Saipan announced the overall winners who survived this tough 3-day race. These runners ran and combined their time for a total of 20-kilometer distance on all 3-day races. In the women's division, with a combined time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 25 seconds, third place and bronze medal, it was awarded to Tara Allen. Second place is Rosemary Chisato. Chisato has a combined time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 37 seconds. And the first and Trinity 2023 Women's Division champion is Ann Bang. Bang has a combined time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 42 seconds. Meanwhile, in the men's division, third place is Mr. Barefoot Runner himself, Chong Nam Lee. Lee has a combined time of 1 hour, 49 minutes, and 43 seconds. Second place winner is Joel Buko. Buko, who is also a champion in cycling here on Saipan, has a combined time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 39 seconds. And the Trinity 2023 Men's Division champion, Chad Taflinger. Taflinger finished second in all 3 races, but with his fast and steady pace, and with a combined time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 52 seconds, he turned his 3 silver medals into gold. Run Saipan President Edward De La Cruz was very happy with the turnout of this historical event, and this is his message to the overall winners.
Well, with the overall winners, strong work, amazing job, congratulations. There's no way that you can tactically plan how you're gonna do each race. Every race you run into, you're gonna run as fast as possible, and the only thing you can guarantee is that you're gonna make it to the finish line. So for them to be the top 3 fastest for men and women in the first 3-day race, that's an amazing job. Most people wake up the next morning thinking they're not gonna be able to run the next race, but they do it again and again and again. So for the top 3 overrunners, good job, congratulations, you guys made history, because we're doing this every single year, every January, every MLK 3-day weekend. We're gonna try to make this the next jewel race of the Pacific. That is our target.
De La Cruz also thanked all the participants, volunteers, media, and all organizations who supported this event.
All I can offer everybody is Undongkluna Sizus Maasi, and thank you so much for taking part in the event. And thank you to our sponsors, NMA, Saipan International School, our volunteers, especially Kensington. Thank you guys to Kensington Hotel and Elan Group for sponsoring our starting line. We'd like to thank the Marianas Visitors Authority for including us in their promo video for Korea. Thank you guys all so much. And Undongkluna Sizus Maasi, to Saipan Tribune, Marianas Variety, and KSPN for telling our story. Thank you guys all so much. We'll see you guys next month for the Ekiden Relay.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to be going over the leg press. Now I have here with me is Vince, and he's going to show you how to execute it properly in two different ways. A common mistake that you'll often see is leaving your hands free, either up here or on your lap. I strongly recommend you holding onto the sled and create that tension in the upper body, which then allows you to create more range of motion. So with his current foot placement, he was feeling it on his legs, his quads. Now with a simple adjustment by placing his foot a little higher on the platform and his toes pointed out slightly, he's going to transfer that tension, which was previously on his legs, onto his hamstrings and glutes. Again, he's gonna grab onto the sled, creating that bracing effect up here.
And for the KSPN weather report, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east wind 18 to 21 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 14 to 21 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. High 85, low 76, the humidity of 77%. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east wind 16 to 18 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23 miles per hour. High 86, low 76, the rip current statement. Dangerous rip currents on the east-facing reefs of the Marianas through late tonight. Rip currents can sweep even the best swimmers away from shore into deeper water. Please be very careful out there. For the marine forecast, Smokecraft advisory remains in effect until 6 p.m. Tuesday. East winds 15 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30 knots and seas between 7 and 10 feet in the Marianas coastal waters. Conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Sunrise will be at 6:47 a.m., high tide at 8:04 p.m., low tide 3:10 p.m., and the sunset 6:10 p.m. And that does it for our Monday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. As always, we thank you so much for watching the KSPN News. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you on Wednesday with more.